Shit real, shit feel like I can't get my paws on a comma, nigga. Ain't nobody Cosby or Obama, nigga. Barely got diplomas on my mama, nigga. Get real until you feel like all you got is hope inside your pockets. Every move you make is gonna be proper. Running out of options, you gon' make moves or sit still. You don't gotta like it, you just gotta listen. But you got opposition for my proposition. You won't understand this till you in opposition. But you just viewing the chaos, you like a mosh pit witness. Man, my cousin banging MOB, a skinny nigga looking like...
Yo, check this out, it's from the Ground Up Podcast, episode 90. There's no mics right now. A little technical difficulty, but we're still gonna make this shit happen, you feel me? It's Sunday night, I've been in the hospital all fucking day. My daughter, we got up this morning and my daughter was very sick. I don't know, it could have been a virus or, you know, could have been something she ate. But anyway, she threw up. She was throwing up. So I've been in the hospital from 3 until about 8:30, okay? Mm-hmm. And we had to start the podcast at 9. So I've been there all day. I didn't get a chance to go home. I didn't get a chance to eat. I didn't get a chance to do shit. I got dropped off for this motherfucker. I'm praying Sudi come in so he can drop me off home. So it's episode 90. And we have Tay Svpreme. I call her Tavis.
We gonna...
That's
a whole dub right there.
I thought her name was Tavis the whole time.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying? But
whole dub.
We got
Actually, Tavis though.
Tay Svpreme, right?
Yeah, you said it right. Yeah, you said it right.
I hate the fact that you're looking down on me.
I was saying you could sit. You could have sat on the.
I usually got that chair, but that chair in here right now.
You could have sat on the John.
Yeah, I got another one like that. That's
yeah.
technically on that one.
You could.
But
you could switch.
Nah, we're in the middle of the podcast right now. We got Tay in, and we also got Troy Rain.
Oh yeah, definitely dynamic duo. Reign Supreme. You know what I mean?
So this somebody walking?
No, I'm the producer.
That would be hard though.
Me rapping? I think
we
that
got
would be
Leon. Leon is a rapper.
Alex the Jet.
What's your rap name?
Alex.
LS the Jet?
Alex. Yeah.
LX?
Yeah.
What the fuck does the X stand for?
Malcolm.
I guess that was cute, but Alex the Jet got to go.
That gotta go.
That got to fucking go.
Saying that.
We ain't running with that one. But we gotta tell you, so Tay has been here before, correct?
Yeah, but not on the. Well, yeah, I guess the podcast, the rap cipher. I was here supporting Troy.
Was she in some of the footage?
No, that was all Troy. I just stayed in the back and watched.
Yes. Yeah, let's talk about that before since we got here. I mean, it's about Tay, but I want to make sure I feel Troy.
Yeah. No, that's good.
So Troy did the cipher. I liked it, but the only issue was the editing was fucked up. Right?
I believe so.
I know so. Some people probably didn't know, but I'm just so technical when it comes to music. What happened was you rap, and when the beat, it didn't line up right. So when the beat kicked back in, you were still on pace.
The beat wasn't.
The beat wasn't on. You know what I mean? But, just make sure.
You caught that?
Yeah.
I caught it immediately.
What was it?
I'm at short.
Top of the year.
Yeah, top of the year.
Top of the year.
Right after New Year's. No, wait, this was...
That was New Year's.
This was literally New Year's.
Yeah, because
that was like December 31st.
Because I do, ciphers every year. So it had to be top of the year.
Yeah.
This was December 30th, actually. Because the 31st, I had to wait for the edit to get done.
Niggas got calendars, bro.
Yeah, I remember. Because I remember it was New Year's and I kept calling my man like, yo, we gotta get this shit edited. Anyway, I want to get out of the way, but we got Tay. Tay, what do you do, Tay?
I'm a music producer.
You produce, right?
Yes.
I need you to talk up loud.
I'm a music producer. That's the same. If you want me to talk, I'll scoot up a little bit.
Scoot
music.
Scoot my boot. Yeah, so I'm a music producer.
I think you blocking short though, so slide over a little
But
bit.
she's the music producer.
She's the. She produces for you.
Okay, let me slide over. He put me on like that.
And honey,
Get your shine, boo.
and Honey Ford.
How old are you?
25.
You talking too soon. You're 25.
Edit that out.
No, no way. They ain't hearing anyway. You're 25. 25. How long you been producing?
Okay, let's see. I've been producing ever since I was about 10. Young. I was
10?
about
Why?
10. It was something that I was naturally drawn to. I didn't even know that this was Who in the Families.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, literally all my half on my mama's side in Virginia, they're all musicians. They either can sing or play an instrument of some sort.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so they.
She is what the same, right?
So they, and and it's unfortunate that sometimes I find a lot of this stuff out at their funerals when the family's getting together and they telling past stories, because my great grandmother had 14 kids. And
who was in the house producing that made you want to produce that?
Nobody was in the house producing. It's just my father he was just a huge, he loved to listen to music. So I got that part from listening to him and him bringing me downstairs, because he always had the sound system and set up. So just like how I am, my speakers and everything got to be on point. So I get that from him, but he never produced music, but he was heavily into music. Heavily.
What you don't typically see is a female producer.
Yeah.
Correct?
Correct. You right.
So 10. What did you start off? Let's see. You're kind of young, so I'm trying to think. 10. What would have been
10.
an MPC?
And I didn't look. We had this conversation in the past. Remember, I said I never started on a beat machine. Like, honestly, I probably started earlier than 10 if you really want to be serious. Because I said it first started off on this little red keyboard that my mom got as an apology from this white lady, because my mother used to be home health aide, and the white lady and my mom took care of this white lady's mother. So she said something snarky to her, and this was back when she was working in Manville. So you already know how Manville was way back then. It calmed down now. So, and as a form of apology, she found out that my mother had a child, which was me, and she presented that keyboard. And I didn't even know about that story until about like 3 years ago, till my mom told me that's how she got it. So, and I remember just me playing on that, and that had like a little microphone that had like 4 animal noises, and then I took that with me everywhere I went, like to my nana's house and to everywhere, and this was before I started school. So, and I was just playing on that, and now that I think back, I was always into, like, I was playing chords or playing 2 notes that sounded together, and making songs, and then from that little red keyboard graduated into this Casio. That was about like 48 keys.
Casio.
Yeah, a whole Casio, and then me just learning how to play keyboard, play on the keyboard on that, and then it graduated to another, I think it was another Casio if I'm not mistaken, but this right here was a 32 key. I remember it's WK 3200 key, and that had beats and sounds that you can create music and things on there, and
some riffs on there.
Yeah, and I couldn't, and that never had a record function, so I could never make something and record it. So what I did was I always wrote down on a manual booklet that it gave you. So I wrote down the numbers of like the sounds that I used, and then I named it something so that. And my keyboard was always in my room, so sometimes.
So you could never record, so you just wrote down.
I wrote it down. Like, I probably still have the book.
If you wrote it down, so how would you write down the keys that you played, though?
And that's the thing. I never had theory. I always played by ear. So it was sound. So it was like a certain amount of sounds that was incorporated into the keyboard already. So it was just sounds that I naturally liked. So if I couldn't remember the name of the sound, I remember, okay, so this is sound 324. And there was like a layer function. So you could split the keyboard and it'll have this flute sound, for example, and this guitar sound. So while I would write down the names of the sounds, and I will always replay whatever melody I came up with. So a lot of times whenever I went to a certain sound, it jogged a certain memory of mine. So that's how I knew, based on my book and on the numbers that I wrote, what melody was which. Not knowing, like I said, that this is an actual thing that can lead to making money. It's just something that I naturally just did. And you remember we had this conversation. I
don't remember.
Okay, you said you don't? Okay, here we go. Wait, this is gonna jog your memory. Remember, PlayStation, I said that they came out with an MTV music generator? and you can make beats on that.
You sure I didn't tell you that first?
No, we told each other that at the same time. We was like, oh my gosh, we did it. We both did the same thing.
I was there.
He was there because it was the same day of the podcast.
I mean, I believe you. I just, it was so much shit going on.
We were sitting up there just like how we were like an hour ago. We were sitting up there waiting for everybody to get in, and we had that conversation. And I was like, I didn't even know that was like a doll. So then I was making beats on that, and since that was off of demo disc, you couldn't save anything on that either. So I always got into the thought of repetition. On a demo disc, no, you couldn't.
Yes, you could. You saved it on the fucking
I never had a memory card for my PlayStation. I never had a memory card.
40.
All the games I've played, I will play up to the highest level, and then I'll have to start it. I just thought that's the way life was. I just thought that's how life was back then.
You're so stupid.
I just thought when I got a PS2, I had a memory card, but I just thought that's how life was back then when I had my PlayStation. But that just taught me how to get better and not be afraid of repetition.
All my beats.
And you probably never went back to it.
What, the memory cards?
Nah, when you saved your beats.
Yeah.
On it. You went back to it?
Because I bumped them back.
You practice?
I stuck them in. I took the cord.
Okay.
You could have recorded it on a fucking tape deck.
But my thing is, look.
All right, so you know that.
It was the innocence behind it. It was something that I didn't know.
You know the yellow jack is TV.
Okay, yeah, I know.
White and red jack is audio.
The left and right, yes.
You could have stuck it in anything.
See, but I didn't. But see, it was but what I'm trying to explain to you is that it was the innocence behind everything, that I wasn't conscious that this was actually music production. I was just doing it because I just enjoyed to do it, and I loved doing it, not knowing that it was music production.
So the shit that you made on PlayStation, how did you get back to them? I mean, how did you remember that? Did you do
I never. I would just start over.
There's no
again.
way you could remember to do it.
No. It's not like I went back to the PlayStation and redid the same beat I did before. It would be a different beat each time. That's what I'm saying. Look, but
Stop.
I liked it.
Stop.
I liked it, but come on.
Hold on.
I liked it.
No, that's dope. But yo, that gotta get on your fucking nerves.
It didn't get on my nerves. That's what I'm trying to say. Like,
if you're making all these fucking beats and you can't save them.
Well, see, but that's what I'm trying to say.
Jesus.
To you. It was the innocence in the play, and I just.
How many beats did you make
today?
On PlayStation.
I didn't make that many. It was a demo disc, so I just probably went to that after I finished playing Star Wars. It was just something that I just did, and then I would go into. It's not like I purposely did it. Now, if you ask me, when I went to the Boys and Girls Club, and this was back in middle school, and they had a beat competition, I was like, oh, I'm gonna get on that because. Right. And so then they had this doll that's called Acid Music Studio.
Acid Pro.
Yeah, Acid. There you go. And I was going to the Boys and Girls Club years ago, and I went there for years.
Cut my samples.
Okay, I stopped using it. I went to FL, and that was the program that they used it there. Nah.
Reason
We're gonna fight. Don't say fuck FL.
Reason Gang. But go ahead, I'm sorry. I need to learn FL. They got some dope shit I'm not seeing.
Yes, FL is the truth.
I seen some little tricky shit.
I was saying.
So yeah.
So, and they had the software. It was asking me, and I liked it so much. My mom ended up buying it for me for Christmas. I was like, Mom, this is the name of it. This is it. I was like, I like it, still not knowing that this is music production. It's still the innocence behind it. It was just something that I enjoyed to do, like how a girl likes to play jump rope or something. I was in middle school, so we're thinking, all right, how was I in middle school?
12.
6th grade? Yeah. 6.
That's not fucking middle school.
6th grade? Yeah. Back when Hubbard was doing 6th, 7th, 8th, that was considered middle school. Chill. And you had elementary school was from 1st to 5th.
Oh, you with that new age.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm like, nah.
Middle school was 7, 8 for me.
Okay. Well, they pushed it, they brought it back to 6. But that's when that was, because I was going to the Boys and Girls Club, and I remember who was the computer lab teacher and everything back then. But anyway, and so from there, I was always doing that, and then I had a CD player. So once I learned how to burn my beats to a CD, I would have, but sometimes I can only get one track. So next thing you know, I had 12 CDs with just one track of beats on it, just one track. So I got 12 different CDs with one track. One beat, because I didn't know how to line them up. I don't know. I'm learning. Nobody taught me this.
No, it's a learning process. It's all good.
Nobody taught me this, okay? Yeah. I'm learning this on a computer. And, CD player. Listening to them. Listening to the beats that I made. Just not knowing, once again, that this is music production. And then, even then, I won't even listen to regular songs. Like back when MySpace was popping, I would have beats of other producers now, of people in UK, some people here in the States, of things that I like, because I always love instrumentals instead of
UK
regular
was
songs.
popping on MySpace, right?
Huh?
UK was popping on MySpace.
Yes, like it was, and then one of the reasons why I wanted to get at least the States, or like they used to do beat ciphers back then. It was called Lewis Den Beat Ciphers, and it was a bunch of dudes with their MPCs, like in a little underground place like this. Everybody join around. You got like 6 producers with their MPCs out, and everybody beats was fire. And you was just playing it, and it really wasn't no competition. It's just people was just there for the love of the art,
right?
And for the love of that. So. You know, and like I said, I just, once again, not knowing that this is a whole thing.
Oh, I need to stop you real quick.
Oh, what happened?
What the fuck is y'all doing?
Yeah, I did see something going on. What was y'all doing?
We in high school right now?
He was communicating. He was writing notes.
These niggas over here writing notes.
He was communicating about this, and
about what?
He didn't want to interrupt.
Well, you got something to say?
I
you got some words of wisdom. It's cool. You got a question?
If you want to walk on ice, you might as well dance.
Okay, I never heard that one before. Here we go.
That's a bear shit in the woods. I don't know. I think it's the same thing, right?
There's a
I don't
bear
know.
shit in the
You
woods.
guys, what's up with these concepts, man? It's fucking metaphors,
I
man.
don't know.
You rapping on that here beat? You give him beats?
This is I'm meeting him for the first time. He said he remembered me from school.
Oh, y'all just meeting too?
Yes, but
Wow.
I don't remember him
I
from
remember from
school.
high school.
What school you went to?
I went to the high, but I graduated in 2011.
Playing for her too? Yeah.
He graduated 2 years after I left. So when I was
what
a
year?
senior, he had to be in 10th grade.
So I graduated 2 years after she left, but I was there 2 years before she left as well.
I mean, what year did you graduate?
2013.
God.
I graduated in 2011.
You know that shit sounds crazy to me.
You old as hell.
2000.
Damn.
Dag, high was that was deadly back in that time. You was going there when it was really slicing people's faces off.
When I started, I think it might have been
It was
8
bad.
periods then when I first started.
8?
8 periods.
Oh, when I first started, like for a couple of years,
lit.
they had the A and B days. You went to 4 classes a day. There was like 100. Yeah, it was like
that changed though.
it changed the last 2 years. Then it went to 9 periods a day. But
It used
they
to
had
be
the
B back to, it was
A,
A,
B
B, B, A.
days.
How many lunches you
Yeah,
had?
One.
They had like ABC lunch? Yo, you don't know what the fuck that is.
nah, but that all depends. Like you talking about the year when they had 9 periods or A, B days?
Lunch was called
I know
ABC.
my second day lunch was like a
nah.
period after.
A lunch?
How many lunches did they have? Like 3? They had like A lunch, B lunch, C lunch when I was there.
Nah, you just knew when your lunch was.
Yeah, I don't know how many. It's probably like everybody went
Hey,
to
yo.
everybody else's lunch.
You got time? Huh? Nah, I was saying because we started late. You know what I mean? I was making sure. I'm pretty sure he told you what happened. But
Yeah, so
when did you jump into Fruity Loops though? FL.
okay.
Because now you got you was fucking with the Casio,
Yeah.
PlayStation.
Acid.
Acid Pro I thought was more of a recording program.
I didn't know. All I know, the only reason why I got that was because I seen it and I was using it in the Boys and Girls Club.
It had sounds like Acid Pro like you could.
Yeah, it had loops in it.
Oh,
It had
okay.
loops. It came with loops, so that's what I used it, and that's how can you say, I learned how to format a song. You know what I mean?
Okay,
And I learned how to arrange a song. Mind you, internet wasn't out, YouTube wasn't out back then,
No,
so
it wasn't.
nobody
Yeah, yeah.
taught me nothing. My father, he was just happy. He, like I said, he's a big music head, so he was just happy that I was just doing. He brought me guitars. Like that was one of the things. They always brought me instruments, so I was always around guitars and instruments. He was just, you know, he's my dad, so you know, he introduced me to video games, but then he also introduced me into music as a whole. So
Right.
he just always supported it, but he didn't know anything about that. He never taught me anything.
Right.
Nobody ever taught me that. I learned this literally on my own by chasing something that I didn't even know that it was an actual thing behind it. Like I said, it was the innocence behind it. And then FL Studio, I think Boys and Girls Club, somebody ended up downloading that, like a free version, and I was playing around with that, and I was like, oh, okay, so this is cool.
It's
And
easy
then
and simple.
my boy D, and he's my friend, he's a producer too. We met in the 6th grade, and we met when the first conversation we had was, oh, I make beats. Oh, I make beats too. And then,
Right.
boom, and then we've been friends for like damn near for 12, 13 years based off that conversation.
When you say you make beats, did people take you serious? Because it's coming from a female.
Back then, it wasn't. See, now today's world, I don't know, but back then, we didn't have social media or anything like that. Like,
yeah,
so,
but still coming from a female.
I never said that.
I'm not saying it's a bad thing.
No.
But in a man's mind, they might think like.
In today's world, we're talking about right now or back then.
Even back then, it's like would it sound strange?
I never said. That was never something that I said out my mouth was I made beats. It was just literally something that I just did.
Oh, you wasn't promoting.
I was never, but no. It was just something that I just did on my own. And if somebody was just to ask a question or, like I said, if somebody was to initiate, I was like, oh, okay, what do you use? And it was just something I don't even say it was a secret.
You wasn't out there like, yo.
I made beats.
Hey,
no.
Troy, I got these beats, my guy.
I'm trying to tell you, I did not know that that's what that was.
But that's good, though, because...
If somebody was like,
Tay,
if somebody was like Octavia, like, did you know if somebody actually held my hand? Yeah, that's my full name.
Okay.
So if somebody actually held my hand and somebody who was a music producer or who was a musician was like, hey, you can do this and like crafted me when I was young, yeah, I really believe I would probably be rich and be put on somewhere. But I know for a while I had stopped and then I got back into it. And then when I got back into it, I stuck with it and been consistent with it up until, now. Come to it.
So let's talk about, so you got into the Fruity Loops.
Yeah.
Did you teach yourself with the Fruity Loops or did somebody walk you through it?
I'm sorry to cut you off.
No, that's all right.
I did teach myself and then, like I said, my boy D, he helped me out because he was using FL Studio. And it's kind of like, and then I just taught myself. By constantly doing it. I probably got back to making beats and stuck with it in the year, 2012 when I got my blue laptop, like for school.
So you chilled or?
No, I went back. I won't even say I took a conscious break, but I know specifically, it was actually the summer of 2011, and I was borrowing my friend's laptop, and he never had a battery on his laptop, so I literally had to keep the laptop plugged in on a charger in order for it to stay on. Right. So, and like I said, I was like, man, I would get so excited, like it was that feeling that I got back again, and then literally, I started making beats back in 2011 and stuck with it up until 2018. So I started back up and just consistency, learning, wanting to get better, and then now I'm here where I'm at right now.
When did you get to the point where you say, you know what, it's time for me to start saying I make beats or I'm Tay?
Oh, that's a good question.
Like
when I be like, I'm good enough?
When you come out like, yo, listen, I'm Tay, I make beats, let me get your email.
Okay, that's actually a good question because for a while when I first started, I was like subconscious because I knew my music, my type of beats didn't sound like everybody else. So back then I thought I had to sound like somebody for somebody to like me.
That wasn't your thing.
But then, it wasn't my thing because I never drawn to it. But then people started coming to me specifically for my sound. They started coming to me because I didn't sound like anybody. So I was like, I embraced that. I was like, you know what? I'm just going to do me and just get better at doing what I do. And then it had to be until, this is 2018, so we're talking about like 2014 when I started first working with an artist, Fuss, and he came to me.
Who?
And Fuss.
Okay.
He's right. He came, and this was like back when I was like a volunteer police officer for Plainfield for 3 years. So he came to me when he was working. I used to be a cop for 3 years.
It's all good.
From 19 to 21.
You got much to say around you, but it's all good.
I was a cop, but
You was whooping niggas' ass with that stick.
No, I didn't. I was nice.
You was a cop?
Yeah,
Like
gun
that?
and badge. Like if you ran up on me, I could yes.
You was a cop for real?
Want to show me a video you shooting this gun?
No, you really had a gun and badge?
Yeah.
On the other end.
A real gun
So why
and
you not a cop
badge.
now?
I decided I love music too much, so I was like, I didn't want to pursue it.
You went to the academy and all that shit?
Academy, 2012, May 2012 is when I graduated the police academy.
Where was you a cop at?
Plainfield. For 3 years. I started when I was about like what?
So if I whipped the pistol out right
18.
now, how would you feel?
You could whip out. I'm not afraid of guns.
I'm not saying you're afraid of guns, would you be like, I gotta call the police on this thing now?
No. Why?
I'm
You the police, you
You-
got it.
I ain't a cop no more. I'm not. I
you
quit.
was a cop?
Yes,
Why
for
would you
3
quit?
years.
Are you a fuck nigga?
No, I was a volunteer. I never got paid for
So
being
you
a
carry a
cop.
gun
Wait.
for free.
So you about to get shot for free?
Cause that's how
She about to
much
shoot
that.
for free.
She gonna
So
die
my
for
thing
free.
is, but it was more so. I was trying to, serve my community, and it was kind of like a moral thing. But then when I was little, that's what I wanted to be. I wanted
Ain't
to be
nothing
a
wrong with
police
that.
officer.
Follow your dreams, baby.
But that was my dream, so I became one, and I realized that's not what I wanted to do. So
You
that's
just
what.
ain't gonna do that shit for free.
Nah, I could have. It was my choice to do that.
Mhm.
Nobody ain't put a gun in my head and tell me to do that. I remember what I did, emailing these wrong people, and they get me to the. That was all my doing. My parents had nothing to do with that. I told them, and they supported me just like with anything else. And so, like I said, I was then, so I know I was doing that, going to school and like making beats, and that's when fuss.
So you said fuck the cop shit. I'm gonna follow this music
3
shit.
years and I was still making beats when I was a cop. I still was doing it.
What was your cop producer name?
I actually started. My first name was Tay, the producer, and then one day on Twitter, I seen some nigga from Chicago with the same. I was like, no. So I changed my name, but his name was like spelled TAE. So I was like,
It's the same
okay.
shit.
So
Officer Tay.
so I was like, okay. So then I switched to Supremacy, but it was spelled kind of like how Supreme is. Like the V was flipped upside down, and like I had it going like weird, and I was like, no, I don't like that. I don't like it. And
Right.
then I think I ended up sticking with Tay Svpreme
Tay
and still
Svpreme,
keeping the
mhm.
V, and I was like, and that stuck. I like that the best. Cause
Tay
that is not it.
I know.
You know what I mean? So, and I was like, that represents me, the best. So that's why I went with that name. But
Let's say 2015, you start feeling yourself.
yeah, I
In the
started getting
sense of,
better.
Like,
Because
How
that
about
was when I was experiencing and I was going to the studio in sessions with my artist Fuss, and we did the whole album, Definition Me, and I was like the executive producer of that, and then I produced like half the tracks on songs on the album, and my
Right.
boy D did too. And setting up the photo shoots, music video shoots, all that time, that was my first time ever doing everything. Once again, nobody telling me how to do it. That was all trial and error, me going through that myself. So it was at that time when I knew that I was making songs where I felt as though I was making beats good enough for people to rap on them, and it be a whole music video and the whole thing, and people was actually feeling it. I was
Right.
like, okay, let's put more batteries in my back. I'm getting more confident, and then I'm just still learning in the lab all the time, just figuring out how I can get better, listening to other producer interviews, listening to certain beats, trying to think of how they put this here and how they put that there, and I'm just like, okay, so now when I make a beat, I know to not, you know what I mean? Like I'm studying it while I'm listening, so, and then it's just gotten better from then, just consistency.
right. So we're gonna skip that.
Okay.
What year was the beat battle? I mean, this ain't even skipping because from 14 to
Beat battle.
18 is you was in the beat battle, right?
Yeah, Remy Producers. Yeah, I did my first Remy
was that?
Producers battle back in 2015. That was
So
the first one that I went into.
You went to two. Which one did
I
you
went
win?
to two. The one that I almost won was the one that was this last year. So I got up to top 5, national finalists. So I beat out the other guys across the country.
Where was it?
So the first one was in New York. It's funny because I actually lost that round. I almost got it because Just Blaze was like, yo, give her a 60. Like I have like the whole video, and the score only went 150, but Just Blaze was there. He liked that beat so much, but it was like a scoreboard, so I still lost behind this other guy.
Right.
But then when we got off, he was like, you got some heaters. I like you. And he was looking at me. He was like, I may bring you in for the what the hell is it called now? The special something, like he could vote me back in even though I lost.
Right.
So then that's what he did. So he voted me back in, so I had to compete down in Atlanta.
Right.
Drove down to Atlanta with my boy AM and D, and it's funny because they had paid for a flight, but I didn't take the flight because they couldn't get the plane tickets in enough time. So I was like, yo, let's put our money together, and drove to Atlanta. I ain't never driving to goddamn Atlanta again. So, but I drove there. That was a long stretch. Driving from New Jersey to Virginia is one thing, but Atlanta, that's like 10 hours. That was
Yeah, 'cause you
OD.
gotta go to the Carolinas, and that's ridiculous.
Yes.
That's
Oh my gosh, we was in South Carolina, I think, for damn near half the trip.
It's like 4.
Well, every
Maybe
time I
5.
thought I was out,
Yeah.
every time I thought I was in Georgia, we was still in South Carolina. So I was
Yeah,
like,
you
yo,
stretch.
that was the longest stretch. So yes, I went to Atlanta, and then there was like, okay, get ready to go to Vegas. Vegas was like November 14th, and that was like 2 or 3 weeks after the Atlanta trip. So they getting everything ready, PR and everything ready. So they sent me like the promo stuff to the email saying this is going to be here. Zaytoven's going to be here. Actually, Zaytoven was at the Atlanta one too. He's really cool, humble guy. Huh?
Zaytoven from Atlanta, I think, right?
Yeah, no, he's actually from Cali, I think.
Okay.
And but he just lives in Atlanta. But dope as hell, really cool, humble guy. He's not gaudy like some other people can be.
Yeah.
He's more like laxed. But so bam. We in Las Vegas.
Oh, you went to Vegas? Okay.
Yeah, paid for my flight. They paid for a flight for me and my friend.
Mm-hmm.
They paid for our hotel, 5-star hotel. I had to say this because as soon as you walk in, curtains and everything is moving on its own. You can literally control the whole room from like this tablet that they give you. Room service, like the whole 9. Yeah, I had my own driver talking about tux, big SUV tux. He holding up the door.
Oh, they gave you the rollout.
Yeah, they gave me like the whole celebrity treatment, all of that. And like I said,
How did you feel at that time?
I felt good. I'm like, yo, I was like, damn. I'm like, oh, and I'm here, not on my terms. Like I didn't pay for anything to get here. What got me to that position was literally my music.
The music. Mm-hmm.
My music got me to that position, and that's the first time I ever went to Vegas, and that's the first time I ever went to Atlanta.
Right.
So that my music got me there, even though I always had a good paying job and everything, but I just never thought to go to Atlanta. But now my music was the reason why it brought me to Atlanta. Mm-hmm. It's the reason why it brought me to Las Vegas. So I literally hit 2 things that I wanted to achieve within a couple of months from each other at the expense, not even. It's not coming out of my pocket. Yeah. They paid for it. So, off rip, that was a good experience. It was a bunch of other celebrities there. And the networking was crazy. Like, I still have Chris Gotti's number in my phone. Like, I met Casanova. I still has his manager number in my phone. But I'm the type of person that I'm not going to hit these cats up and just talk whatever. Like, hey, how's your day? No. If I'm going to talk to them, they're going to want to talk business. Right. So, I got to make sure I got my shit together so that, okay, when I do text them, I'm like, hey, look, we got this, that, and the third, and I gotta make sure I have my stuff in check. But I'm not gonna hit them up on something. I'm like, we're not friends. They're gonna wanna talk. You know what I mean? Business. So
what happened in Vegas? So you go to Vegas.
So I go to Vegas. Boom. So now we got the other guy. So now I'm versing a guy who I lost to in New York. Because I thought I won Atlanta. So it's me, him.
Are you playing different beats from Atlanta to Vegas?
Yeah. So different beats. So we had to have like 5 beats on a flash drive. We had to give it to the DJ. And we had to tell them about round 1, round 2, round 3 beats. Now, when we went to Vegas, it was an elimination round. So each round you did, so the first round was a remix round. It was an unreleased song Zaytoven had. So we had the just the acapella, just the vocals. So we had to take that and make our own beat around the actual song. It was like Young Dolph song. So that was the first round. That was the round you didn't get eliminated from, but you didn't get scored on. So
that just did your intro.
Yeah, it's just an intro, and then so for me, round 1, so you playing the first beat, whoever had the lowest score, boom, kicked out. It's round 2, lowest score kicked out, boom. Round 3, lowest score kicked out. So and then I had lost the 3rd round. It's funny because I feel kind of like weird about it because I wasn't sure. I don't want to say that I played the wrong beat, but I had a certain strategy. And that strategy didn't work in Las Vegas. It worked in New York and Atlanta, but Las Vegas, it was different. I can't explain. So I thought maybe if I came with that strategy, but I should have just called the audible at the last moment because the beat that I had, I think really would have rocked the whole fucking room. I'm not even and I'm not kidding you because but then the other 2 guys battled head to head. Then the dude won, and then it was like a big thing.
It still was a good experience for you.
What? Hell yeah! It was I got a plaque out of that. Yeah. So
I seen it. I think that's
and money. They gave me $1,000 after all of that. New book bag, new everything. Like, and I got paid.
Yeah, that was my first time. I believe I came across your page. I think somebody might have reposted you, I believe, or something.
I got a lot of love, especially from people who I didn't know, and especially from the people that I met in Atlanta. See, the thing is about Atlanta.
Now, people in Plainfield was posting your shit.
But it was people in Atlanta that was posting me too, and I was like, yo, they are so supportive is like amazing. Like they was like, yo, this is my homegirl Tay Svpreme. She's gonna kill it out in Vegas, da 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 da. And they're doing that shit on their own. Like it was such a dope experience to get people that like really
so
fuck
that
with
really
you.
boosted your confidence up.
What? Yes,
so
it did.
You
Because
come
this
back,
season,
right.
I'm gonna win it. Watch.
Are you going back again?
Yes, hell yeah,
Okay.
I'm gonna win that shit too.
So you come back from Vegas, right?
Come back from Vegas.
You back from Vegas. You feeling yourself, as you should. Now,
I mean, yeah, I feel good.
I'm not
like,
saying you feel. I'm just when I say you
Well,
feel
yeah.
yourself, I mean, you know, you like,
yeah, like
shit, I got it now.
yeah.
When you come back after all that, them tournaments and everything,
Mm-hmm.
was your mindset different? Did you think like, you know what, I'm about to really start going hard, trying to push my beats to, you know, artists now?
I was pushing beats to artists then, but my mindset was different. It was for me to get. I was even more hungrier, and then now I knew because I said we was getting judged by people in the industry, Universal radio people. So they said what they wanted. Oh, we wanted radio hits. We wanted this and that. So we got critiqued on stage in front of a crowd full of people. So if they said that your shit was whack, they said your shit was whack. And you know what I mean? Like, so it's definitely no, you know what I mean? They didn't hold back. So I didn't get my shit was whack. I always got, yo, we can hear Drake on this, we can hear this. You know what I mean? I always got good, positive feedback.
And the funny thing is, yo, I think I heard maybe one of your beats so far to this day.
What beat is that?
Which is Honey.
Mad at Me?
That's the joint that's on the soundtrack, right?
Yeah, that's the one that's on the movie. And you want to know something? That's the beat that got me in Remy. I submitted that beat in when somebody was like, tagging me, it's like, yo, we're doing season 4. That's the beat I submitted in.
Right. So.
And I won. I mean, they picked me off that beat.
How did you make the placement? Well, anyway, since you know,
Okay.
You came back from Vegas, right? Was you fucking with Troy at the time still, or is Troy?
I was always fucking with Troy.
Troy's been in the whole way.
But it's funny because me and Troy, we got close in
Hold on. How many joints is on
September.
Rain Forever?
On rain days?
Rain, whatever the fuck name.
Oh, this was before we were close. I knew about him, he knew about me, but we didn't start it
How many
working
How many
together.
tracks on there?
On rain days?
Is it
I'm not on Rain Days.
No, not on
You're
rain
not?
days.
No, he made that before we got
Rain days was
close.
Rain days was in the process before me and her got close.
Yeah.
We was already making rain days. Rain days was getting cleaned up, like polished up.
Who did the production on that?
Who did the production?
Yeah.
AM, the same dude who went to her.
Yeah, he went with me to
Why do I know
Atlanta.
that? Damn, who else he did? Where's he from?
AM, he from all over. He was in Jersey, then he moved to North Carolina, then he moved back
A
to
lot of
Jersey.
people fuck with him from out here though. AM, right?
Yeah, AM and Dane Javon.
I heard AM that production.
Right.
Like tough.
So AM did most of your joints?
Yeah.
I like your project, man.
Hey, collective
Skinny Niggas
effort.
Part 2 is my shit.
I need that song.
You said what?
Yeah.
Skinny nigga too?
Shit.
I know, right? That's my favorite track.
It was crazy. I asked him to remix that. He wouldn't let me do it.
What?
Skinny nigga too.
This is before he was doing
I like
That's
that.
because it was.
it. You just know.
That's my favorite track. I like that track too. Skinny Niggas too.
Are y'all gonna do something together?
Oh, yes. We
I mean,
already have mad tracks. It's
Yeah, we
hitting.
got
I mean, just a solid project of y'all two.
Yeah.
like just us two. It's
Like
more
no
than
outside
just
production.
like us.
As
that
me and him,
plus
yes.
That plus some.
That plus some. Like
That's a lot.
we not separating. We in this together forever.
I mean, are y'all, is it some type of connection? Like, not like that.
No. I know it's not like that. It was just funny. No, you're good.
Facts.
Is it though?
No, not like
That's
that.
why get a dirty little secret and shit.
Nah, I mean like,
You got dirty little secrets there.
I don't.
any label or you know what I'm trying to say?
It's funny. We was talking
Nah,
about
we was
that
talking
the other
about
day.
that. But no, ain't no.
Y'all just tight like that.
Yeah.
It's like we be in the same realm, and it's like, yo, she
Right.
got the beats, I got words.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know you fire.
No, I'm just saying.
You are.
It's just kind of like we got how we are right now. I think what really boost the relationship between me and him was when we started working on when we did the Honey and another movie we was
Yeah.
working on together.
Let's talk about Honey.
Okay.
For those who don't know, Honey is a movie which has Tiana Taylor and y'all know him as Hakeem. I don't know his real fucking name. Hakeem
Right,
from
share
Empire.
something like that. Yeah.
It's a dance movie basically. I think I seen it on one of y'all pages.
One of us.
Yeah, probably we
Both.
both posted it.
Yeah, so how did you get that placement?
AM.
Mhm.
He's the man with the plan. One day, you know, I never met him before a day in my life. He just hit me up and it was like, hey, I like your styles like that, mind you. I didn't know what he did or what he was into. He was just somebody, you know, like anybody else who DMs me. And then, you know, we just text. It wasn't nothing heavy. And then he was like, hey, you got a beat or something I can get on? And then he was like saying something for a movie. Now, when he said this, I said I even tell him to this day, I just thought like it was kind of like a front. I didn't think that it was a
Like,
real
yeah, whatever,
thing.
nigga.
Yeah, because I don't know him. I did not know him. I still
Everybody
never
do that,
met
whatever,
him.
nigga. Yeah.
We was texting, and I still never met him in person. That's what I'm trying to say. So this was literally off of him. He's a low-key guy, so he must have been paying attention, low-key, and I never knew. So he gave me my first shot, like, for believing in me. So
if you didn't believe him, you did it anyway, though.
yeah, I did it anyway. Because, you know, it was just something I'm like, what I got to lose?
So how did you, he asked for a beat or a song?
He was like a beat. So, because he's an artist himself. He sings.
Right.
So he asked for a beat, and he was like,
What's up with the
we
sing?
need something.
What's up with the A in it?
She country. That's
Who?
Sang.
She's like, what? Same.
She don't
He
even know this
sings
shit.
or he sings?
He sings. What?
What's the
He sings. I'm not even noticing what I'm saying.
we
Like,
noticed you said sang.
Sang.
He sang.
oh,
That boy sang.
I'm saying like that.
Yeah, you do.
Oh, I didn't even know that.
Well, go ahead, go
Okay.
ahead. So AM sings.
Yeah, he sings.
Uh-huh.
Okay, and
That shit hurt.
Try it. Yeah,
and
think
he's a
about it.
phenomenal producer. If you heard Rain Days, he's like produced damn near I think all the tracks except for like 2 or something like that.
So he asked her a beat. What made you decide to
told-
go with, like, you know what? I'm gonna give him a song.
I didn't know that Troy was getting on it at first, so
I
he
know.
just said he needed. He was like, oh, what they looking for is he was like they looking for something that's like a.
Did he know y'all was connected or no?
I knew Troy because the first time I ever seen him perform, I think was back in 2000. Yeah, Studio 15. What
Studio
was it,
15?
2016?
15 is the.
It was like
It's the
Express,
connection.
and then I was in like shock. He said he was from Plainville. I was like, that nigga lying because I never seen him before in Plainville, and the people who he
I never
hung
seen none of
around,
y'all playing.
I never seen him in Plainfield. So I was like, and I at least seen somebody once, you know, in Plainfield. So I was like, okay. And then when he got on stage, I was like, oh my gosh. I'm like, who is this? Like, he's so damn good. Like, I was like, literally, I remember the first day when I seen him, I'm like, wow, like, he is really good. Like,
You
I
talking
still,
about Troy, right?
yeah, I'm talking
I
about
was pretty
Troy.
sure.
So, and then we spoke for a little bit, and I spoke to, what's his name, Darian. We like, I think I had got. Now I didn't get his number, but I got Darian's number because I told him I was like, hey, I make beats and things like that, and that was when Flux was like, and like this was back in 2014 when we was all still getting our ride.
So what made AM get Troy though?
AM, they knew each other for years.
Yeah, but did AM know that you knew Troy?
Probably, I don't know.
You talking about for
For the honey.
He probably didn't.
So he
I don't
asked you
know.
for the beat, right? AM asked you for the beat. Did he tell you what he was doing with the beat, or he just?
Yeah, no, he told me.
What'd he say?
He was like, hey, they're looking for like a beat. He was like, can you do it at this BPM? And he was like, they looking for something that's like Future. So I was like, so like Future. So then I did the Mad at Me beat, and he was like, yo, this is hot. He called me. He was like, oh my God, this is so dope. Da 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 da. And then he was like telling me, he was like, they need another one for this. So I made another one. So I actually made 3 beats for the movie, but Mad at Me is the only one that stuck. And then so yeah, and he was like, I'm gonna get Troy on it. So I was like, okay, cool, that's dope. And then once he sent me the rough that Troy was on, I was like, yo, this is a dope song. And then, you know, a couple of weeks and some months rolled past, and then things started getting serious when they started asking for ass caps. They started asking for birth dates and things like that. But then that's when AM was like, it got chosen for the movie. Now, we didn't know what scene it was. We didn't know anything. So when the movie came out, that's when we found out what scene it was in.
Right.
And
Also the soundtrack.
yeah, so the beat was made back in August. So I made this before I did Remy Producers.
Yeah. Let me ask this though. You ain't gotta answer it. Y'all got a check for that, right?
Yes. Yeah, I paid for
That's
that.
another question.
How much was it?
We're
Listen,
not-
it wasn't enough for us to go to
Yeah, it
California,
wasn't
all
that.
right?
It was something light.
It was.
It was actually more than
I'm
we
gonna
thought.
let you.
well, it was more than we
You
thought
got
it
a
was
check
going
at
to
the end of the
be.
motherfucker.
It was a
Yeah.
check.
We did get paid for it.
It helped me realize.
It helped me realize.
how much money is in the music industry.
Yes.
Right.
Because
And how much you need to get on your IG,
the invoice,
right?
Yes.
And
a
use
2-minute song,
Yeah, it was.
split between the both of us, like
Yeah.
you
It
pay us
wasn't
this
that
much
bad.
for 2 minutes.
Yeah, it wasn't. It wasn't life changing money, but it
But
was
it still
more.
showed you, it gave you a kick.
I was
and
like,
thing
damn.
that.
It was like,
Mhm.
what? Boom. All right, Troy. Studio time. Let's go. We in there.
Right.
You know what I mean? But like I said, it just gets you more. It's just you just need that because it just recharges you each and every single time.
Right.
Like, you know what I mean? So that was a dope experience. So when we seen it, we all had a movie night. So we seen it together, and this is the first time I ever was excited for movie credits. And we seen it had my whole damn government name on it.
Which is Octavia
Dolores Johnson. No, I had my middle
Dolores.
name.
Dolores.
The whole thing.
Hold on.
You look like a fucking Dolores.
You look like a Dolores, guy.
Bruh. That's
Nah,
my
she
grandma
don't look like
name.
Dolores.
Like
She
y'all
sound like
funny.
Dolores.
So, but yeah, it was the full John,
Yeah.
and that was just a beautiful
And that just
thing.
recently came out too.
Yeah, just in the beginning of April.
What's the next move for Tay Svpreme?
Next move for me is to really solidify a team and start moving in on the business moves. And what I mean by that is I'm going to always continue to learn and get better. But now I'm going to try to, I'm going to network with, more people. So I'm actually on a music internship that I'm trying to figure out how can I put this in words? How the industry works in the background. Like, how do people set up venues? How do you get after parties at clubs? How do you do this? How do you set up things like that? So I'm actually in that right now. So what's next is me really knowing the game on the business side. I was like, look, I already established that I can make a song and it can go places because I've gotten paid from people from the industry. So I know that that's good, and I know I'm only going to get better as long as I remain consistent with it. So the next step for me is me educating myself on the business side.
Right.
Because I always tell people the music industry is 50% art and creativity. The other 50% is music, business. So right now I'm in the process of just, teaching myself, learning that. Taking the business in, and then I'm also getting better. And then I want to work with artists. Work with more artists and really start to push things to the front.
I was about to say, how many artists are you working with?
So I'm working with Troy, of course. I'm working with Mello V.
Mello V, that's Brunswick, right? You from Brunswick?
I think he is from Brunswick. Is he? He's a singer?
I keep hearing Mello V. He's a fucking singer, yes.
Yes, he's a singer.
I think he's from Brunswick. I swear.
He probably is from Brunswick. I don't know where he's
fucking
from.
guy. Was he locked up recently?
Who?
Was he locked up recently?
Locked up?
Yeah,
No.
Cuffed.
I don't think so.
I just ain't the same guy then.
He didn't tell me.
There's another singer there. Why, you gonna arrest him again?
No, I didn't. I'm like, no.
That's hard. That was
No,
smooth.
he didn't tell me. You
but-
funny. You
nah,
funny for
but,
that.
So if somebody called your phone and you got the sound on, what does it do?
It rings. Oh. You
rang.
funny.
So,
You funny.
I don't know if this same guy. So,
It probably isn't.
how many people you work with Plainfield? This is a lot of artists out here, but
It's Fuss. I've sent Plainfield. Okay, it's
this is
Fuss.
the
Troy.
city. Who the fuck is Fuss? Okay,
His name is Sherrod, but he's a singer as well. But Troy. I'm gonna be working with 100 Grand Gang and Zeke. They hit me up recently, so I'm probably gonna be linking up with them. I'm linking up with
Cal and Hollywood.
and E Hollywood, y'all.
Then I'm up next.
He's up next. You already know I got him.
You said
and,
Zeke Marley.
Zeke, yup.
What about
actually-
Moody? Hank Moody. You know Hank?
I know him, but he never. I didn't know he did music.
Hank is fire.
I didn't even know he did music.
He's different.
I didn't-
Super.
I didn't even know he did music.
Yeah.
Well, just tag him on my IG. I didn't know he did music. Cause Troy's on tour right now. He's on Music Cafe tour, so I go to like every show that he has. And one of his shows, I met his boy Tay Svpreme, and me and him we linked. So I'm working with him. So I just did 2 tracks, or a couple of, I think like 3 tracks for his album that he's gonna be putting out in September. But he's not from Plainfield, but he fucks like with AM, Troy,
But
like
you
other
work
people.
with a lot of
Yeah, I'm working
you
with a
trying?
lot of artists, and then even his background singers came to me. So now I'm working with a singing group now. So I'm working with a lot of artists. Like everything's starting to get picked up, and they all say the same thing. Oh, we see you doing big things. 'Cause they see all the pictures from the Remy producers that I'm
Right.
taking pictures with Zaytoven, Just Blaze, Big Tigger was there
Now
at
they
the
wanna
Las
hop in
Vegas
dick,
one, huh?
Nothing.
No, I mean they're not. I don't look. I'm a humble girl. I don't
No, I'm just saying,
be
that's
all
what-
about that.
It takes shit like that. for people
But
to fuck
sometimes
with
it
you.
do.
Like,
It do.
oh, like you could have been known, but now they see you was Zaytoven and these
It
other
does.
people,
And you're absolutely
you get
right.
the credit that you should have been getting before
You're right.
somebody else seen it.
But then I also am better at my craft now. But I do understand what you're saying. I mean, some of
It
it
takes
can be
somebody
that.
to what's the word I'm trying to say?
Uh-huh.
Cosign. It's like they look
Yeah,
for a
so,
cosign.
but it's like, and I think I had this conversation with you. I was like, but everybody know I make beats. I was like, I'm not gonna beg somebody. I'm like, you know where I'm at. All you gotta do is hit me up.
It's like that. You know why? 'Cause, you know.
I have a website that I promote. Like
Yeah, but they wait for a cosign. Like I was making
It's-
beats for a long time.
it's okay.
I make beats as well, but
Mhm.
I chill. Like that ain't my thing no more. I'm about to get back into it.
There's so many people doing it though.
Yeah,
It seems-
but I've been
yeah.
fucking around
You
for a
kind of
minute.
got to. You gotta wait for the cosign. You don't have to. It's not, I don't agree with it, but it's so
Yeah.
much bullshit.
Yeah, so my
Yeah,
thing was I
like-
was doing it on the PlayStation.
Yeah.
I used to holler at niggas like I make beats.
On the
And niggas
PS1.
used to laugh like, yo, you make them play. Then at that time, Mike was kind of popping. Mike Larry was popping around that time. And I was just throwing them shits to Mike. Mike was just tearing them shits apart.
So funny. I always heard of his name, but I
He
never
about to
met
touch.
him in person.
I need some shit for him.
Never met him in person.
We grew up in the same neighborhood.
Yeah,
Heard
I
about
need
him
some
all the
shit
time.
for him. He about to touch. So
Because he has a name that rings, Mike Larry.
yeah,
So I
he
always
dope,
heard.
though.
I never
He
met him.
fire. So
Yeah, he's hard.
nobody was fucking me at that time. I think Mike did the song with Hell Rail, Stack Bundles.
Okay,
At that
yeah,
same
hell
time.
well.
And Stack, we did song with Stack Bundles too.
Mm-hmm.
So I started giving the beats to him, and he just was just trashing them shits on mixtapes, like
Mm-hmm.
shows. Once that shit kicked off, it was like he gave me the cosign. I give him that to this day. Like
Yeah.
his cosign, that's when my shit started jumping. Niggas like,
Yeah.
yo, let me get beats. I'm like, I told
Yeah,
y'all
sometimes
niggas,
you
like,
need it.
I could
Yeah,
have said
yeah.
fuck yeah, but I said, you know what, I give him away still.
Mm-hmm.
But it always take like for one person that your shit can be fire, but it needs somebody to co-sign your shit for you, which
Right.
is corny as fuck.
Yeah.
Like you said, nowadays it's like that. Nowadays, it's not even a co-sign. They want
It
to
makes sense now.
yeah, they want to see you have 13,000 people on Instagram and be
Some
like,
people like
That's
that.
it, yeah.
But then at that point, you get people that been with you from the beginning, and that is in the lab, like how me and Troy were. Troy came to me, and he's not bandwagon. Like I remember, Troy was like, "Yo, you want to get her down to 10?" Like I remember like a couple of the first things that he said when I seen him perform, but he like I said, me and him, it was like organic. It was never no
right.
bandwagon or anything like that. It was an organic type of thing in it, and we just stuck, and it's working.
Huh? Nah, it's good. So let me get your social media because I think it's been an hour.
Okay,
Usually
so
I know off of the what's
off
that?
the
Like if we got the mics,
Back
I
and
can
back.
tell. Because
Yeah.
it's recording here, tell me the
36
time.
minutes.
okay,
It's
gotcha.
that's all
So
right.
my IG is Tay Svpreme, so it's TaySVpreme, and you can find me on Facebook, same thing, Twitter.
Do I get you on Facebook?
I don't go on Facebook though. I just have the music page, and I just have that page manager.
Yeah, you got your Octavia page up there?
Yes, I have the TaySvpreme.com. So
no, you
mainly,
have your Octavia page up there. Not your
yeah,
fucking-
it's there, but I
not
changed the
your business
name.
page. I'm talking about if they want to look for. I went to school with Octavia page.
No, it's Tay Svpreme.
Okay.
That's actually my real page. I changed it to
She
that.
ain't fuck with niggas in school, so it's like.
See, we went to school together, and he's like,
How
he
old
busting
you?
my chops right
22.
now.
He's a fucking young boy.
Yeah.
He busting my chops. I really don't remember him in school, but
Yeah.
I know him now.
What about you? Okay, hold on. You got a website?
Yeah,
What's your website?
www.taySvpreme.com. It's just as simple as my
TAYS Supreme.
TaySvPreme.
Now you make sure you gotta say that because you say TaySupreme.com. They might just type in Tay Supreme.
No, it's the U. The V is supposed to be the U. So I'm different. Taysvpreme.
Supreme.
Yes. So Svpreme.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
okay.
Supreme. But instead of U,
What
it's a
about
V.
Twitter?
Same thing. Tay Svpreme. Nobody has that name, so there's no Tay Svpreme 1 or 100. Everything
Right.
is literally
So-
Tay Svpreme. You do one thing, you find the rest.
Next step is to get your foot in this industry as you're running the business side of things.
Yeah, the foot, it's like we got our toe in there. It's in there. The toe is in there. Now we just trying to kick down the door and really go in there. So that's what we're trying to do now.
What about you? You want to get your shit out there, Troy?
No.
It's Troy Rain on Instagram.
He said no.
It's
We're
Troy
not
Rain.
getting our foot in the industry.
It's Troy Rain.
We're
on
bringing the industry to our feet.
Right. You need to be
That's
on
heavy.
Instagram more though.
See, this is what he does.
He needs to be on Instagram more. He need to use his social media.
No,
I like.
Like what? Being quiet. You like being like Bryson Tiller.
No, he don't do shit. He real quiet.
You know what I'm
But it
saying?
works for him. But nah, I like high quality stuff.
You have high quality music, but,
Content is king.
but why not? Utilize social media in your advantage though. I mean, you on there like 4 days at a time, and you might be like April 12th, and April 19th.
She hot.
only time you on there is when you dropping something.
Yeah, why not use it more?
Cause I'm
How-
not even
you
like
have
that
to.
in real life. I don't
You have to.
It's
How,
like I'm
how
not
often do
really
you
talking
use
much.
yours?
How is my what?
Your IG, you post
My
every day?
IG?
How often do you post?
I don't post that often. Like I always go on my story. I post more on my stories. But I do post.
Right.
I post probably a little bit more than him. But he posts on his stories too.
Right.
Post on my stories now, yeah.
You want us to give me a project?
Rain Days, Apple Music,
Spell it.
Spotify, REIGN
There you go.
DAZE.
So,
And yo, play if you don't even listen to it, play it because we get paid from that. So just play it all day, 24 hours a day.
He
Just let
said it
sit
wrong.
You serious?
there. That's it.
He said
you can buy the single "Mad at Me"
He
on
said it absolutely
iTunes
wrong.
and stream it on
Right.
it's
Spotify.
very dope, so play it. It's not, he's just saying play it like sarcastically, but it's actually good and
Too
high
humble.
quality music.
Too humble.
I
'Cause
like, I like it.
Yo, you do something that thousands of ass niggas did.
Hey, yo, you want to get shit out there, Leon? Leon.
That's the kind of beard the nigga got.
Come on, y'all. Don't.
Yeah.
Humphrey
Lions.
Bogart 53 on Instagram.
What is it?
Humphrey Bogart. Yeah.
Maybe. Why don't you have your real name?
My name is in the
Is in the actual
joint.
name.
But shouldn't that be your real
No.
name?
No.
Right
The
now?
more you get to
No,
know
no.
Leon, you gonna get your
That's
shit like
my
this.
mother's favorite actor. That's the only reason why I did that.
Yeah, but I mean, coming along, what we talking about?
Nah.
You still gonna keep it the same way,
Yeah.
even if you get smoking.
Yeah. Cause nobody. I mean, everybody should.
You rap too, right?
I do.
You got music out?
I do.
Where?
That piff.
How old is it?
Last one might have been 2014. 4 mixtapes.
Oh, this old.
It's old.
You got something new?
I mean, I got shit new on my phone and my email and stuff like that, but
So why did you put something out recently?
Cause I was focused on something else. Still focused on something else.
Okay.
And I just it didn't have a place.
Is your first time sitting down like an interview setting?
Nah.
Hell no.
Fuck.
Hell no.
Not be Oprah.
I want to be the first one, so I,
Not be Oprah.
you know, in the care package. Cow.
That's way too late.
I've done quite a few.
That's all good, man.
See the beard? Come
The
on,
beard
bro.
don't mean a fucking thing.
It means I've
Strength
been
and
interviewed
wisdom.
before.
I'm trying to be like him.
No.
Sure.
He did.
What's your rap style? That's what I'm asking you. Before we hang, because I gotta get the fuck out of here. What'd you consider your beat style?
Ooh, that is difficult because I
Are
don't
you
stay
very
in one
versatile?
genre.
Okay, you hop
I'm
around.
very versatile.
Okay.
And I don't even I have a sound, but it's. Let me help.
That's all
Our
good.
sound.
I need
I
help.
gotta hear some of your beats. That's
Can
all.
I judge you off
I would say-
the honey jug?
Yeah, you judge me
That's your
off
sound?
that. Yeah, that's one type of sound.
That's one. That's one.
Oh
song.
no, you can't
She-
judge me off that
No,
one
not judge. I'm
song.
saying if
She
I didn't
versatile.
know.
She got if you could ask her for more of those type of beats. She got like heavy shit, like shit that you bump and be like, oh
Okay.
shit. And then she got like
Some other shit.
it's literally what you want.
Right. Yo, your rap style on the last joint, is that typically your style all the time?
It depends on how you interpret it.
How you just, this how you be rapping, you know what I'm saying? Your shit move.
Yeah. The next project I slowed down a little bit, but the one that's gonna come out, I slowed down a little bit.
You got something else? You got something coming up?
Yeah.
When?
We can't say it yet, but that's the one we was talking about.
Oh yeah, you guys.
Oh, me and you, us.
Soon, summertime.
Oh.
Yeah, like
Before the summer?
she on like
Okay,
all
we
the
got
other
about like
projects,
3.
There's Pauline
Yeah.
Proverbs. Then I'm
You got the name of the project y'all got coming?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
Pauline Proverbs.
What is it?
Paulie and Proverbs. The drink I be drinking, Paulie and Proverbs.
Mm-hmm.
And then the other one is gonna be me just wilding. It's gonna be called Trap Troy
Pauly
and Proverbs.
and Proverbs.
Yeah.
You named it after the Pauly song?
Parmesan.
You
And
young
Proverbs.
niggas got to die.
That's
That's
what
3
it's
drinks.
Trap Troy.
Trap Troy.
I need that.
That's
Trap
3
Troy.
drinks.
So you, any projects coming or you focus on the other joint?
I'm focused on the other joint, but I'm on Trap Troy.
You want to come back? You want?
I'm on Trap Troy.
Alright,
That would be the
Trap
line.
Troy would be a dope
That
record.
ass.
Let's get your social media out though. What's yours?
Humphrey Bogart 53 on Instagram.
Instagram?
Yeah, HUMPHREYBOGART 53.
What about Facebook? You not a Facebook guy?
Tory Johnson, I ain't on it though. It's on there, but I ain't on it.
You more of a IG nigga?
IG,
Oh,
Twitter,
yeah, I'm an IG.
HTLJ 53.
Yeah.
Make sure that's your friend request.
Whole lot of gang shit.
Whole lot of games.
Whole lot of gang shit.
Whole lot of.
I want to
That's
thank you,
what's so
Tay.
funny to me.
Ain't no problem, girl. You
Um,
blah blah. Thank you.
Very dope though.
Having me
Very,
on.
very
Thank you.
dope. You don't see too many female producers out there in the game.
No, you don't.
And there's a lot of them out there. They just don't get the recognition.
Mhm.
I like the.
But I'm gonna be the one that.
Nah,
Bust
I
down
like
the
the
door, though.
steps that you take. You know what I'm saying? You're taking big
Shit.
steps right now.
You
You know
know
what I'm saying? Me and Lane shield you back. Maybe I can get something from Mix 6. I got coming.
Yo, let me know.
For,
Like
for mine, I need something very.
for you, like you rap? No.
Listen, little phone booth. Plug talk is coming.
Red braid.
Red braid.
Yo, let me know. We already exchanged numbers, so you already
I
know
got
what
you.
I'm about to say.
I'm
Let me know what you kind of like
I'm gonna
want,
give you the
and
name
I'm
of the
pretty
song.
sure I'm gonna
I'm
have.
gonna give you the name of the song and you just do it from there.
You said the what?
I'm gonna give you the name of the song and you do it from there. I need it
Okay.
on when you do your BPMs, what do you do double or single? As far as like, I like to record on like a 74. My clicking, click.
Okay, yeah, you're talking about your
click,
BPM. So
or-
you like your BPMs to be 74
Or is your
beats per
shit
minute.
like click, 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 click?
It all depends. I could go
What-
from a
what's-
90 BPM to a 140 to 160,
All right,
150.
so your 160 would be my 80.
Yeah.
You get
Okay,
it?
so it's just halftime.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. There we go. I'm more of a halftime type guy.
Okay, yeah, you could still rap halftime on a 160, and people won't think
Nah,
that
no,
the beat's
it's just
going
not,
that
it's not still the
fast,
same
but
thing. It's still the same thing.
still the same
So
thing.
if
That's
I
what I'm
give you the
saying.
number, I'll give you the original number.
Yeah, like if you, just like you
I
said
need
it,
something in
you can go halftime on
like
a fast beat.
130, 132.
That's pretty.
People
That's
all
like
time.
right. That's kind of like normal. Usually hip hop
Super
beats are like
bouncy.
from 120 to 160.
I need my shit to be super trappy.
Okay, trappy is between 130 and
That's
140.
what I said, 130, 132.
Yeah, that's what your
I need
trappy
that
is.
shit to be like. I'm just
I got that.
You
Right.
sound like Red Braids though.
phone booth. Thank you, Tay.
Thank
Be
you.
on the lookout. Troy
Lit, Troy, Leon.
and LX the Jet. Here we out, man. It's
Oh, we
90. man.
out.